against the background of Jacob Zuma and this plan to collapse what is termed the Slaughterhouse Commission. Ferial, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to the show this morning.
Wa alaikum salam, Inayet. Nice to be with you again.
Yes, always wonderful having you with us. Now, obviously, Jacob Zuma is not going to take things lying down, and to the extent now we see this term Slaughterhouse Commission emerging and featuring very, very prominently, Ferial.
Yes, Inayet, when I sat listening to the recusal application on the day before yesterday, the word slaughterhouse came up twice by the advocate Muzi Sikakani. He said this was how his client, that is Mr. Zuma, regarded how he had been treated in the commission until now, or at least how his reputation had been treated. He also said that his client objected to the fact that it was regarded in many testimonies that he was responsible for a lost decade or the lost 9 years, and those were among the reasons that he's asking for the recusal of Judge Zondo.
Well, Ferial, these obviously are strong words that Jacob Zuma is using, and it does appear that these will only get stronger. The key issue here is Jacob Zuma obviously calling for the recusal of the Deputy Justice, but also at the same time, what he has done in his affidavit and in his submission is put the blame on everybody else, whether they be witnesses or whoever else has appeared before the commission.
Well, what's pretty clear is that, as you've seen with the various corruption trials in which the former president's been implicated, this is pretty much par for the course of how he runs legal strategy, attempting to delay and stop it, what's called the Stalingrad battle strategy. And I think we're just seeing this happening at the Zondo Commission of Inquiry. I see now that the judge has said he'll make his judgment at 3 o'clock this afternoon, not at 10 as expected. So obviously it's something that he's thought through very carefully as he's decided how he's going to respond. I do think, though, if he says that he won't recuse himself, which most people believe he won't do, that he has no reason to do so, then you'll see yet another step in the strategy, which could be one of two things. One is that the former president takes the stand but doesn't answer questions. The other is that his team immediately says they're taking the judge's decision on review to a higher court, which of course then delays the testimony of Mr. Zuma.
Well, exactly. And I think the key issue here is the timing of this entire saga and how it's been unfolding right at the 11th hour as usual, because we know that Jacob Zuma had known for long that he would be appearing this week in front of the commission. So there is clearly a strategy and an agenda in mind, with these latest developments, Ferial.
Absolutely. So, Inayet, since the beginning, since the first testimony of Mr. Mkhabisi Jonas, Mspeki Mentor and others, and this is now going back 2 years, every time that Mr. Zuma has been named in testimony, the commission has issued an invitation for him to come then and give his side of the story. So it's not just this week. He has, in fact, been invited for 2 years. So, in fact, the delaying gambit has been ongoing for well over a year and a half at least.
Right. Now, obviously, when one looks at the response to Zuma, and we've seen what has happened in terms of the response where the advocate Pretorius, made it very, very clear, saying that they had audited the commission's transcripts. They could find absolutely no evidence whatsoever of Chief Justice Zondo being unkind to Zuma in terms of the allegations and also presenting his arguments for recusal.
Absolutely. So, I've been sitting there on and off since it started just over 2 years ago now. And I must say the judge is the most polite and courteous person. Of late, he's been getting a little impatient at what he's been hearing from witnesses, but I think that's human and to be expected. And they obviously have perused all those transcripts and could not find occasions where he was either rude to or judgmental about the former President Jacob Zuma. So I think they're going to have a hard time standing that one up. Inayet, if you look at the 100-page affidavit which underpins the recusal application, the bits of the testimony that they've used to back up the argument that Advocate Musi Sikhakhane has used, it doesn't really do so. If you'll see it doesn't show unkindness or bias in any form. I'm sorry, I got to run on to another call. I'd love to chat another time. Huh?
No, that's perfect, Ferial. In fact, we were just about to end this interview as well because we've got a few coming up over the next half an hour or so. But as always, we do appreciate your time with us, Ferial, and we wish you all the best. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam, Inayet. Thank you.
Ferial Haffajee joining us this morning on Zuma and the stalling tactics, once again calling for the recusal of the Deputy Chief Justice Raymond Zondo at the State Capture Commission, and very, very strong language coming through. And this is going to be quite interesting to see what developed over the next few days, because we know Jacob Zuma was due to be to appear in front of the commission from the 16th and right until the 20th of November, which is for the rest of this week. So this is something that we will keep an eye open for. The time is just gone 9:30 a.m. We're heading for an ad break. We come back, we're taking a look at Ethiopia and looking at Tigray escalating out of control and regional stability being threatened.
Discover the Africa of your dreams and so